Rapid and orange. So here's our beautiful staff of Aging Together. And we saw some staffing changes over the past year as Jenny Biggs and Sue Davis retired. And we added Julie Johnson and Anna Rogers to the team. And here's our wonderful board of directors. And more wonderful board of directors, as well as Kathy Zielinski, advisor to the board. We did lose from our board this past year, Joe Sokol and Jan Selbo. Jan Selbo is a founding member, and Joe Sokol was representative for Orange County. So Aging Together's mission is aging together through partnerships, connects people to communities and resources to improve quality of life as we age. And Aging Together's vision is to have age-friendly communities that actively engage, value, and support older adults. So what do we mean by an age-friendly community? Most people want to remain in their homes for as long as possible. And sometimes that means having the support and community to be able to remain independent. When a community has adequate housing and transportation options, opportunities for social participation, employment opportunities, is connected to information and resources and health services, then it becomes a, quote, livable family for people of all ages. And a great community to age in place. Aging Together works to promote age-friendly communities where people can age in place successfully. I will now turn the presentation over to Ellen Phipps, our Executive Director, to talk about our 3-year strategic plan.
Hello, everybody, and welcome, and thank you, Crystal. I'm just going to fast forward on those. Thanks so much for joining us today. The Aging Together strategic plan was informed by the community conversations of 2018. And the board of directors worked really quite hard and long hours in developing the 3-year plan based on input from the community conversations, which I know many of you know about those and were involved with those. Of course, it has been an unusual few years, to say the least. But the plan, when it was first developed, we heard about the need for increased transportation options, increased access to food, affordable housing, caregiver support and education, and support for families living with dementia. Around the same time that we were developing our community conversations and developing our strategic plan, the PATH Foundation conducted a community needs assessment to discover similar findings. And from there, the PATH Senior Services Collaborative was formed. And this was a coalition of community stakeholders. So at that time in 2018, when all of the needs assessments were completed, both the Board of Directors of Aging Together and the Senior Services Collaborative divided into committees and work groups in order to address these strategic goals that you see here. The need to address social isolation quickly bubbled to the top of supporting the first goal there, supporting health and safety and quality of life. And of course, that need for social isolation really was exacerbated during the pandemic and became a continued focus. These goals, goal number 1, to support health, safety, quality of life for older adults and their families, to promote the value that older adults bring to a community, to champion community response to the challenges facing older adults, and to assure sustainability of Aging Together as a valued community resource. These goals address the pillars involved in creating age-friendly communities. So the need for aging services and supports comes from the growth and the projected growth in the older adult population in our region. The Aging Together region is made up of 5 very individual counties, as Crystal mentioned. And if you take a look at some of the population statistics here, the number of people in each county, the percentage of people that are over the age of 65, and we also included the number of veterans here who are often underserved. What I think is interesting and what I'd like to highlight is that by 2050, the number of older adults 65 plus will be close to double what it is now. And I think what we all need to do with our partners and working together is continue to ask the question, are we prepared? And I'm going to turn it over now to Anna Rogers, who will talk a little bit about how Aging Together works through our teams.
Thank you, Ellen. Here is the slide of our wonderful county teams, and each county team is made up of a group of volunteers with a chair or co-chairs. And it's been an honor to work with these people who have been with the organization for quite some time. Aging Together's teams have maintained a faithful core of attendees in spite of the fact that meetings happened only via Zoom for the first 9 months out of the past fiscal year. So the first in-person meetings were in April of this year. County teams participated in the successful planning of 5 county watch parties centered around celebrating the honorees of the 5 over 50 celebration in May of 2022. County teams created a postcard with important contact information for vital services, which was sent to all residents of Madison County following the model for Rappahannock County the previous year. And some county team highlights. Teams were instrumental in coordinating quarterly webinars with expert speakers on a variety of subjects that included fall prevention, understanding Medicare, and understanding open enrollment, mental health, medication safety, among others. And right there. Teams focused on learning about available resources in the region through member spotlights, in which participating organizations spoke about what they do and what they have to offer. Participants from each team also met to begin plans for 3 Art of Aging expos for the upcoming fall. Thank you to all our county teams and the volunteers for all your hard work in support of older adults.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you to all of our teams and all of our team chairs. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the Senior Services Collaborative that I mentioned just a little bit ago. So the Senior Services Collaborative, facilitated by Aging Together, was designed to help community organizations focus and align their efforts to optimize senior services and supports in the region, in the area that represents the Path Foundation footprint. So that's Culpeper, Fauquier, and Rappahannock counties, so part of our 5-county region. Through quarterly meetings and work groups, community agencies hear from local experts about housing, transportation, access to food, social isolation, and other issues facing older adults. And then they respond with innovative solutions. And I will just say that one of the most active groups through the Senior Services Collaborative has been the Social Isolation Work Group. I'm going to ask if everybody could just make sure that they are on mute. Thanks so much. You know, it's easy to get background noise on these Zoom meetings. So some of the highlights through the Senior Services Collaborative continued through partnerships and funding from the Path Foundation. The Senior Services Collaborative was committed to sustaining these successful programs that were launched in the previous year. That is the Home Care Companion Program that provides in-home care facilitated by Rapid Home, partnering with Rappahannock DSS, and offers affordable home care on a sliding scale and actually way much more now. They've really expanded and grown to provide home care companions to families in need in Rappahannock County. The meal delivery program is with Fauquier Fish and Fauquier County Department of Social Services. They received funding from the Path Foundation for a meal delivery program for isolated seniors that is modeled after the FISH program that they had in place for children. Aging Together, in partnership with the Path Foundation, created the resource guide tailored to older adults and their caregivers. I think most of you are familiar now. We just launched the second edition of the resource guide, but this was the first of its kind in the region, and the guide includes a Spanish language section as well. And many of you are familiar with the Generations Central Adult Daycare Center. And this amazing center was born out of conversations through the Senior Services Collaborative. The Intergenerational Adult Day Program opened in April, and the steering committee that helped to launch this wonderful program included Culpeper Baptist Church, Cornerstone Cares, Rappahannock Rapidan Community Services, George Mason University, and Aging Together. So it was a real joint effort, and it's just a fantastic resource that's available in our community now through the Culpeper Baptist Church and Rappahannock Rapidan Community Services. If you haven't had a chance to visit Generation Central, I highly recommend that. This is a little bit of an old picture, I apologize, but Aging Together is a member of the Aging Services Advisory Council at Rappahannock Rapidan Community Services. And the two agencies work closely together to promote legislation related to quality of life for older adults in our region. For example, we work closely to advocate for nursing home staffing regulations, which of course was exacerbated through the pandemic. The work involves meeting with legislators and working with the state ombudsman. Aging Together is a proud partner of the Regional Transportation Collaborative, working to find solutions for those who seek transportation options. Aging Together supports the collaborative with a part-time staff person who recruits volunteer drivers to help older adults and those with disabilities get to appointments, grocery stores, doctor appointments, that kind of thing. And Aging Together supports a second part-time staff person who helps with community outreach for all the Regional Transportation Collaborative partners. And actually, we are still advertising for the volunteer recruiter position, so I'll just put a plug in there if anyone knows anybody. Each year, Aging Together works with the Piedmont Dementia Education Committee. It's a group of individuals from Rappahannock Rapidan Community Services, the Harbor at Renaissance, First Light Home Care, Generation Central, Cornerstone Cares, and my apologies if I've missed anybody from that list, but we work together to plan and present a conference for caregivers, and we are very much appreciative of support that we get from Culpeper Wellness and from VCU GTE, Geriatric Training and Education. Remember now, we are talking about fiscal year that ended June 30th. So the last conference that we had in this fiscal year was not the most recent conference, but this one was a 2-day virtual conference with speakers and exhibitors. And we had over 125 people attend that virtual event. And we had some wonderful speakers. Some of you are aware of Teepa Snow. We had one of Teepa's partners that presented, Melanie Bunn, and she really did a great job. And we do record our conferences and make the main speakers available on our website for free to anyone who might have missed the conference. So there is that opportunity. This past year saw the launch of the Companion Pets program. This was in response to the continued challenges of social isolation. Aging Together received funds from Northern Piedmont Community Foundation to launch the Companion Pets program. This evidence-based program provides lifelike robotic pets to persons living with dementia in facilities around our region. I have to say that witnessing people just come to life when they were presented with a pet was really an incredibly moving experience. And Aging Together is very grateful to Kathy Walker of Rappahannock-Rapidan Community Services for her help in coordinating the program and basically delivering almost all of the pets. So we're very grateful to her and our partnership there. The next two slides just highlight the number of people that were reached through our various programs. I'm not going to read this out, but you can see the numbers. So Aging Together is involved either as a board member representation or committee member or regular attendee of many organizations in the community. I personally had the great privilege of going through the LEAD Culpeper program through the Culpeper Chamber of Commerce. Of course, the one-year program turned out to be about 2.5 years due to the pandemic, but we just graduated and it was a really fantastic experience. But Aging Together, you can see the list here of the different organizations that we work very closely with. And this really, as I said, these organizations don't represent all of our partners, but organizations where Aging Together either serves on the board or on a committee or in regular attendance. We were very thrilled that in May, Culpeper, Orange, and Madison counties officially recognized May as Older Americans Month. Aging Together and Rappahannock-Rapidan Community Services reached out to each county in our region with the opportunity. And we were awarded proclamations from 3 of the counties, Culpeper, Orange, and Madison, as I said. And here's a picture of the Madison Board of Supervisors meeting where they recognized Older Americans Month. We know that the contributions of older adults in any community is great. And that's really what the 5 over 50 celebration is all about. Changing the way we think about older adults and really creating a positive image and applauding the great contributions that older adults make in a community and in our region. Please be sure to save the date for May 17th, 2023. That will be the next 5 over 50 celebration and watch parties. And please consider nominating an outstanding person in your community. You can go to our website at agingtogether.org to nominate somebody. Nominations will close in January. I think it's January 13th. We are forever grateful to our partners at the Culpeper Media Network, Jonathan and Nicole. We could not do the 5 over 50 celebration without them, and we appreciate their support throughout the year as well. Here are some highlights of the watch parties. Really had a great turnout at the watch parties, and we thank everyone who, all the volunteers who worked hard to make those happen. This chart highlights Aging Together's revenue, and as you can see, the majority of our revenue support is received from the PATH Foundation. We also get support from local government, and we are very appreciative of the local counties for their support and other grants and special events. Aging Together is grateful to our partners, the PATH Foundation, for their continued generous support and collaboration, and for providing us with our intern, Angelina, who worked with us not this past summer, but the one before that, and was really, really great to be a part of that internship program. We're also grateful to the Regional Commission, the Culpeper Wellness Foundation, Northern Piedmont Community Foundation, Rappahannock-Rapidan Community Services, and our 5 county governments for helping to sustain the work of Aging Together. And Aging Together continues to enjoy office space that is provided by Culpeper Human Services. Thank you, Regional Transportation Collaborative. PATH Foundation. Before we close today, I'd like to just highlight some upcoming dates. So please mark your calendars, and you can visit Aging Together's website at agingtogether.org for more information. But we are going to be hosting community conversations and working towards our next strategic plan for the next 3 years. And those community conversations will be announced in the new year. We're actually taking a slightly different approach, and we're looking to where older adults are already gathering, and we're going to be coming out to the communities to where people are gathering with some specific survey questions. And we're also going to have questions available online this time around, a survey that will be available online. Dementia Friends program, which is really an informational session to raise awareness of dementia, is going to be online, a virtual session on January 9th. We're grateful to Lisa Dodson for leading these sessions, for facilitating them, and actually for all of her tremendous support throughout the year to Aging Together and all the work that she continues to do in the community. The 5 over 50 nominations that I had just mentioned previously, those nomination forms are due by January 13th. I know that's going to be here before we know it. And then in the spring, we look forward to our 5 over 50 on May 17th. We're working this year with wineries And we're really excited, you know, those watch parties. This was the first time we did them, was this past May. And they were really a huge success. And we're really excited about growing those watch parties and that model. And we've heard back, we had a lot of feedback about those watch parties, and we've taken everything into consideration, and we're really going to have some great celebrations in 2023. So that concludes our program. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us today. If you do have any comments or queries, please feel free to reach out to us at any time at Aging Together. You can give us a call. It's so great to see so many of you here today. So thanks again for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Have a nice afternoon.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
See you on Monday.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ellen.
Great work, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Ray.